Alright guys, so what's up? Recently I got to shoot a pretty cool pistol. A couple of friends of mine, one's a Glock 19, one has a Glock 17, and both of them have kind of given me grief on things I've said in a couple of my past videos talking about unnecessary, Glock or pistol modifications, putting in, super race tactical ninja triggers and stuff. Well, I think recently I've kind of I'm going to make an amendment to my original opinion on that. Basically, in the past, on comments and things I've said, I was pretty much trying to convey the message that they're not necessary, especially for like new shooters, to have a good, quality EDC fighting pistol. To me, the best thing, if you want to get good with your gun, train with it, practice with it, and do dry practice. So, save your money. Buy a good set of sights, a good holster, a lot of mags, and a ton of ammo. But having said that, both the fellows that I'm referring to, whose pistols I got to shoot lately, all have a pretty good resume of that, and they had recently, I guess maybe 3 or 4 months ago, put in aftermarket triggers. So after I gave them a little bit of shit about it, and which was in jest obviously, they let me shoot it. So you know what, you don't be so judgmental. Don't knock it until you try it. So anyway, long story short, I tried it out. They told me about the triggers that they put in, with none of which, both of them are the same brand, none of which defeat any of the factory Glock safeties. And to be quite honest, honestly it was a lot of fun. It was probably the most fun I've ever had shooting a Glock, because I think a lot of people concede the fact that Glock pistols are awesome carry guns, awesome fighting pistols, but not really necessarily the most fun to shoot. But for me, this changed that on a couple different afternoons. Both triggers that they put in didn't really, I guess, lower the poundage. It didn't decrease the weight of the trigger. It just took out a lot of the, I guess, the squishiness and the stacking of the trigger. And I don't know, it just, for whatever reason, I was able to shoot really fast and really accurate with it. But to be fair, I've only been carrying this this particular Glock 19, I guess maybe for a couple of months now, and I have shot the hell out of it as much as I can. So I guess each different gun, each different trigger takes a little bit of a transition to get to, but not very much. I mean, not if you're a shooter. But anyway, so with their particular aftermarket triggers, like I said, nothing was defeated. It didn't really lower the poundage. It just made it easier to shoot faster. And for whatever reason, I don't know if it was like a placebo effect or what. But I guess in my mind, I knew I was shooting an aftermarket trigger, so I expected it to be awesome. So maybe I don't know. Maybe I concentrated a little bit more. Whatever the case is, doesn't really matter. I don't know, man. I gotta say, I'm kind of a believer. So I was able to shoot faster than I normally could and still maintain really good accuracy, and it was just fun. So I guess guys who do it, I mean, if you're a shooter and if you get training and if you practice a lot, if you do dry practice, and then later on down the road you want to, I guess, enhance what you already have, I don't really see anything wrong with that. But my main point in stuff I've said in the past was basically just to try to help new guys. I'd hate to think that every new guy out there or first-time Glock owner expected that, oh god, I got to drop $500 to $600 for a new pistol, and I got to put new sights on it, and then I got to spend another, I don't know, $100 to $300 in some crazy ninja race trigger and a bunch of springs and a different plunger, and all the bullshit that the internet tells you that you need. But this particular trigger, I was impressed. I liked it, and I gotta say, I mean, for just like cool factor and funness, I guess, if that's a word. I don't know. So I had a good time with it. So I decided to basically, I guess, kind of make an amendment to my original opinion on Glock triggers, and I went ahead and ordered one. So again, like I said, like in the past, I don't really think there's anything wrong with the stock trigger. I mean, it's not the best, but I mean, anything from like a 4 to, I don't know, 7-pound polymer striker fired trigger, I don't really think there's too many issues with it. I mean, yeah, it has a little bit of squishiness, a little bit of take up, but you know, it's not that bad. Of course, everyone talks about how great, you know, Glock factory trigger reset is, which I agree. But whatever the case is, I don't know. So yeah, I just it got me pretty, you know, actually more curious, and I enjoyed it probably a little bit more than I thought I would. And I decided to, you know, I guess eat a little bit of crow and eat some of my words and say, you know, say screw it. And so I ordered one, and I had talked to a few of my friends online who are, you know, like guys who train, guys who practice a lot, and they said that they hear good things about this particular trigger, and it's definitely good to go and it's reliable. And again, the main thing is that it's safe and it's not really a crutch. So I don't know. Whenever I get it in, I'll post a video on it and show you what I got, and you know, I'm gonna keep an open mind about it. And you know, it might not work and it might be dangerous, but from my experience with it and from what I've seen online and from guys that I've talked to, friends of mine on Facebook, definitely seems like an aftermarket trigger that's good to go. And I don't know, I don't have a problem changing my mind on it, changing my opinion. So whenever I get it in, we'll take a look at it and we'll go from there. So see y'all later.